Who's actually getting value from a dedicated video bar and speakerphone combo? And who would be better off sticking with a cheap webcam and a laptop mic? If you're trying to decide whether to spend a few $100s on a Yealink MeetingBar A10 plus the SP96 USB-C / a speakerphone, you're probably wondering if the extra hardware really solves the everyday frustrations of hybrid meetings, or if it's just another gadget that sits on a shelf. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In the next few minutes, I'll walk through the real-world setup, the day-to-day usability, and the hidden trade-offs so you can tell whether this bundle is a sensible upgrade or an unnecessary splurge. Let's start with the problem most of us face: a conference room that was never designed for video calls, but now has to host a dozen-person Zoom every other day. You've probably tried pointing a laptop at a wall, cranking up the speaker volume, and hoping the built-in microphone picks up everyone. The result is usually echo, distant voices, and a camera that can't keep up with people moving around. Yealink markets the MeetingBar as a plug-and-play solution that promises two professional audio options, a simple software switch, and the ability to grow your room's capabilities over time. The idea is appealing, but does it hold up when you actually pull the box out of the box and set it up for a team stand-up? The first thing I noticed when unboxing the bundle is the straightforward hardware layout. The MeetingBar is a slim, all-in-one device that mounts on the top edge of a monitor or sits on a stand. The SP96 speakerphone sits next to it and connects via USB-C, which means you can power both devices from a single laptop or a small PC without hunting for extra adapters. In a typical small conference room, say a 10 by 12-foot space with a 55-inch display, this setup fits neatly on the table and stays out of the way of participants. The real win comes from the two professional audio options claim. The MeetingBar itself has a built-in beam-forming microphone array that zeroes in on whoever is speaking, while the SP96 offers a full-range speaker and a dedicated microphone that can be positioned farther away if you need to fill a larger room. Switching between the two is literally a click in the Yealink software. The app detects which source is active and routes audio accordingly. In practice, that flexibility matters. I ran a quick test with a 3-person brainstorming session. When the speaker was right in front of the MeetingBar, the beam-forming mic captured clear, low-latency audio with virtually no background noise. When the conversation moved to the other side of the table, the SP96 omnidirectional mic picked up the voices without the need to constantly reposition the bar. The result was a smoother flow, no "can you hear me?" interruptions, and a level of professionalism that makes remote participants feel like they're actually in the room. For teams that rely on spontaneous discussions, that adaptability is a genuine productivity boost. Now, let's talk about who should actually consider buying this bundle. If you run a dedicated huddle space, a sales demo room, or a small training room that sees multiple daily video calls, the MeetingBar plus SP96 gives you a consistent audiovisual experience without having to juggle separate webcams, external mics, and speaker solutions. It also shines for businesses that want to future-proof their investment. The software can receive firmware updates, add new conference call integrations, and even support external cameras if you decide to upgrade later. In other words, it's a solid middle ground between a basic plug-in webcam and a full-blown room system that costs thousands. On the flip side, there are clear scenarios where you'd be better off skipping this bundle. If your meetings are limited to unknown calls in a personal office, a decent laptop webcam and the built-in microphone are usually sufficient, and the extra hardware just adds cost and complexity. Likewise, very large conference rooms, think auditoriums or lecture halls, will quickly outgrow the audio reach of the SP96, no matter how you position it. In those environments, you'd be looking at ceiling-mount microphones and larger sound reinforcement systems. Finally, if you're a tight-budget startup that can only allocate a few $100s to remote work tools, you might get more bang for your buck by purchasing a high-quality USB webcam paired with a separate budget speakerphone, rather than committing to the Yealink ecosystem. When it comes to practical strengths, the bundle's biggest advantage is the seamless integration between hardware and software. The Yealink app not only lets you toggle between the bar's mic and the SP96, it also provides visual cues about which device is active, shows volume levels, and even offers basic equalizer presets for different room sizes. That level of control eliminates the guesswork that many users face with generic USB mics that either pick up too much echo or miss distant speakers. Another strength is the expand your room's capabilities promise. Because the meeting bar has a HDMI out port and a USB-C input, you can connect an external PTZ camera or a second speaker system without rewiring the whole room.